Okay. It's 10 o'clock, so we'll get rolling here. Good morning, and thank you everybody for joining us for this virtual meeting about Richland County's Emergency Rental Assistance Program. My name is Chris Kiefer, and my church home is Newkirk Presbyterian in Blythewood. I'm also the director of Richland County's Government and Community Services Department. Our department helps facilitate community outreach and administration of county services. So we're involved in making sure that people are aware of the Emergency Rental Assistance Program and helping people to access the program. The goal of Richland County's Emergency Rental Assistance Program is to provide some financial stability for rental households who are facing COVID-related hardships. The point is to try to help them so they don't have to worry so much about how to keep a roof over their head and how to keep the lights turned on, especially, due to COVID hardships such as job loss and reduced hours and having to stay home with children who need to learn. So to make people aware of this program, we're asking for the faith community's assistance in making people aware of the program. We know that when people are having difficulties, they often turn to their church community for help, healing, and hope. So working together, we're hoping that the county and our faith community can help provide renters with some financial help and some spiritual hope to get through the housing hardships of COVID. So before we go any further, I'd like to introduce some people who have worked and continue to work diligently and unselfishly in launching and running the Emergency Rental Assistance Program. They are the hands and feet of this program, just like y'all are the hands and feet of the church. As I call out your names, would you please turn on your video, unmute yourself, say hello, and if you'd like, let us know what church or faith community that you're part of. So I'm going to start with our program managers. That would be Mike King.
Good morning. My name is Mike King. I am an assistant director with Richland County Emergency Services. I also serve in the capacity of local disaster recovery manager. And one of my responsibilities is facilitating the Emergency Rental Assistance Program.
All right, and we have Pat Beekman.
Hi, I'm Pat. Can you all hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm Pat Beekman. I've been serving in Richland County since the October 2015 floods and helping with the housing program. And then since the floods with the COVID-19, I've been assisting Assistant Director King with the COVID response and recovery. And currently I'm overseeing the Emergency Rental Assistance Program for the consulting firm I work for, Tetra Tech, for all the programs across the nation in general and specifically in Richland County.
And we have Carlton Edwards.
Am I on? Can y'all see me yet?
Yes, sir, we can.
Okay. Carlton Edwards. I'm actually from Blythewood myself. I go to Village Church. I'm in the PN for Tetra Tech here locally for Richland County.
All right. Hey, neighbor.
Hey.
We also have some other county departments assisting. We have Beverly Harris from our PIO organization.
I apologize. I hope you can hear me. I'm having problems with my video. I'm Beverly Harris, the Public Information Director. I attend Emmanuel AME Church, not the, unfortunately, the famous Emmanuel in Charleston, but the Emmanuel AME Church here in Columbia. And I'm just thankful for the opportunity to help people get the help they need during this time.
Yep, thank you. And we have Joyce Meeks.
Good morning. My name is Joyce Philpott. I'm a social worker with Richland Library. We are assisting in helping to provide access, helping to navigate some of the questions about the applications, helping to get applications completed. I'm one of a team of 5. Our director is Lee Patterson. Myself, along with 4 other hardworking young ladies, are trying our best to provide access and help answer some of those questions and get people helping people to get the assistance they need.
Right, and they're doing an awesome job of helping people, so thank you for that. And I'd also like to introduce the other members of the Government and Community Services team, and we'll start with Bryant.
Good morning, everyone. Hope you all are doing well. Bryant Davis, Assistant Director of Government and Community Services. My home church here is Midtown Fellowship, actually Midtown Two Notch, right off Two Notch Road. And thankful for all you guys do in the community and look forward to working with you.
And we have Charlton Burns.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Charlton Burns here at GCS. Hope you all are doing well. And my home church is actually up in North Carolina. Since I've been here since January 2020, I didn't have much time to get connected to a church, but I'm hopefully once COVID subsides, I'll be able to get more plugged in down here. But just happy to be here this morning and eager to get the word out about the program. So thank you all very much.
And Kim.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Kim Humphrey, and I'm part of the GCS team. My home church is Midtown Fellowship, which is similar to Bryant, although it's the downtown campus because it meets a couple different locations in the area. But happy to be here this morning.
All right. And I'd also like to take a moment to recognize Ms. Gretchen Barron, one of our county council members. Ms. Barron, would you like to say anything?
Good morning, everyone. I could not be here. I am a member of Right Direction Church International, and I also serve as the community lead for our church. So I figured it's not, Bishop didn't need to come, I could come. And then not only that, as being the coronavirus ad hoc committee chair, I've had the opportunity to work very closely with the administration to ensure that funds get out in the right hands and get people help that they need right now. And it's something I feel very passionate about. And I'm grateful to all of you, the staff that have been really working to spread the word and really be boots on the ground for this project. So thank you all for the opportunity to say a little bit, and thank you for the work that you do.
All right. And thank you for your support and council support on this program and helping the community. It's really important. In addition to the folks we just introduced, there are a lot of people working behind the scenes who process these applications, work with the renters, the landlords, and utility companies to verify information and to approve and process payments. So there's a lot of moving parts to this program, both seen and unseen. So we want to give them a shout out too for everything that they do. Okay, so this is a couple of housekeeping items. We're recording this meeting, so please keep your device muted unless you're actively speaking and presenting. And throughout the presentation, if you have a question, if you don't mind using the chat function at the bottom of your screen, we have Kim and Charlton kind of keeping an eye on that, and we will address your questions at the end of the meeting. So also throughout the presentation, we're going to be switching speakers. So I'm going to do that right now and hand things over to Mike and share my screen so you can see the presentation. So let's do that. Okay. Does everybody see the screen with the presentation on? Okay, thank you. All right, so the agenda, we're gonna have Mike do a quick overview of the rental assistance program. Beverly and I will talk a little bit about the outreach resources and the public information efforts so far, and then we'll take care of questions and answers at the end. So Mike, I'm gonna hand it over to you as I switch the next slide. Oops.
Good morning, everybody. I hope everybody can hear me okay. My name, again, is Mike King. I'm the Richland County Local Disaster Recovery Manager, and one of my responsibilities is overseeing the Emergency Rental Assistance Program, or as we call it, the ERAP program. as part of the Consolidated Appropriations Act of 2020, the U.S. Treasury was provided funds which they dispersed to local governments to provide financial assistance for renters who were unable to pay their rent or utilities due to the COVID pandemic. Richland County was very fortunate that we received over $12.5 million in funds for this purpose. And these funds are being used through our program to assist qualified households who are unable to pay rent or utilities. And we have assistance available that could be used for monthly rent payments, utility payments, rental arrearages, and utility arrearages. And this program also allows us the funding to provide rent and utility assistance on behalf of the income eligible households for a maximum of 12 months, with an additional 3 months if it is deemed that additional 3 months is required for housing stability. Next slide, please. So the types of assistance available, they can include arrear payments for both the utilities and the rental. This can be provided directly to the landlord, property manager, management agency, or utility provider, which makes it very, very convenient for our applicants. And also eligible monthly payments, prospective monthly payments, future rent payments to the landlord or property management agency for 3 months at a time. And again, we can provide rental arrears accommodation or rental arrears and future monthly payments for a period up to 12 months with additional 3 months for housing stability if it's needed. Next slide, please. So the effective dates of the program, that's another really good part of this program. They actually went to when the pandemic was designated as a national disaster, and this goes back to March 20th. So we can actually pay rental arrears back to March 20th, and the program runs through December 30th. Now, the key points of this is it has to be a renter. This program does not provide for mortgage assistance, but just for rental assistance. The second key point is the household has to have a income of not more than 80% of the average median income for our area. And we'll talk a little bit later about our web link that you can go to, and you can pull up that chart. But also you can go directly to HUD, and you can pull up for Richland County what the AMI is for Richland County for different household sizes. And also we're looking at having one or more household members who can demonstrate a risk of experiencing homelessness or housing instability, and you have one or more household members who qualify for unemployment benefits, or they've experienced a financial hardship due directly or indirectly to the pandemic. And lastly, the rental property has to be located within the geographic boundaries of Richland County. Next slide, please. So one of the things that the Treasury does require us to do is with this program, we are focusing priority on those households who have incomes of no more than 50% AMI, and to those households which one or more members is unemployed and has been unemployed for 90 days. We're also giving priority to the the rental related arrears. Those are the most important. We're trying to get everybody caught up in their arrears so they can address any potential eviction issues. And then we can look at additional future payments, again, up to a 12-month period with 3 months additional for housing stabilities. Now, this program is unique that landlords and property owners may apply on behalf of their tenants. And we've had that done a lot. We've had a lot of properties owners apply on behalf of their tenants. And we also have the situation where we've had some landlords who, for whatever reason, have decided not to participate in the program. In that case, payments are made directly to the applicant household. Next slide, please. And again, some of the documentation is that we require is the inability to pay due to financial hardship, due to the economic impact of the pandemic. The tenant does not have sufficient income or other resources to pay. The tenant or landlord did not receive another source of funding. And what we mean by that is duplication of benefits. So if the tenant or landlord is receiving funding, rental assistance from another source, because there are multiple grant programs out there, we have to make sure we check that and we don't pay twice for that. Now, if it's there's still arrears due, and that money did not cover it. We've had several situations of that. We can cover that remaining amount. And again, the other thing is the income threshold, no more than 80% AMI. And again, 50% AMI in households with unemployed for 90 days and households facing arrears that could result in eviction are our priorities for this program. Next slide, please. So there's a requirement of documentation, and part of this program, we'll talk about the application process. We actually have eligibility specialists that work one-on-one with our applicants to make sure their documentation is provided and is included in with the application process. What you need to have is a current driver's license or government issued ID for both the applicant or any co-applicants you have, a signed lease, including all your pages. There should be a narrative. You should be able to provide a narrative of your financial hardship due to the COVID-19. You could have a termination letter, a letter written in narrative from yourself, proof of unemployment, or you can self-attest of the hardship. You can actually give us a statement of your financial hardship. Proof of income, that can either be your last year's 1040, or it can be a monthly pay stub. Or again, if you have no income, we do accept a self-attestation of no income. For rental assistance, especially if you have an eviction notice or a late rental notice to show how much your rental arrears are. And for utilities assistance, if you have a statement from your utility company or a disconnect notice, etc., and make sure it has the applicant's household member's name at that rented address on that statement. And again, if you've received prior assistance, we want any documentation you have on that so we can make sure we apply that properly. Next slide, please. So there's multiple ways to apply for this program. The fastest and most efficient way to apply is online. And I gave you the portal, direct portal address to our application hotline. However, we're also going to give you some more information how you can easily go back to the Richland County website and pull this information up again. So you can apply online, or you can call our hotline for emergency specialists, eligibility specialists at the call center who can walk you through the application process. We can also do in-person options. These have been very, very popular options for our residents to apply. You can apply through our Richland County Government and Community Services Department. We've included the number there for you, and you can call and schedule an appointment Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Our Richland County Library has teamed with us, and we are so thankful for their help. They've just absolutely been outstanding. You can call or text to schedule appointments or speak with staff. We also provide an email directly for the social worker at Richland Library and a link for the Richland Library locations. Next slide, please. And then here's the one that we talk about a lot on our Richland County ERA page, or ERAP program, Emergency Rental Assistance Program. You can go to richlandcounty.gov, and then you can link to our ER portal, and it will link you there. You can have links to the application portal. We have a list of frequently asked questions that we're constantly updating. We have policies, procedures for the entire program you could read. And also there's information there how you reach Richland County and the Richland Library for in-person assistance. And we also post the household income limits so it can be easy to see. And again, going back to the call center, the Richland County ERAP assistance phone line is 855-216-9198. And the eligibility specialist will be there to assist you in anything you may need. That's the program in a nutshell. Are there any questions that I might be able to answer for you? Okay, thank you. And again, the key is to remember the Richland County SC.gov. You go there and you can link, and it'll take you to everything you need. Thank you.
Thank you, Mike. I'll pick up from here. Talk a little bit about some of the outreach that we have done so far, just so you kind of know how we're letting people know about this. The county has issued several news releases. The county also has a newsletter. The program has been publicized in that newsletter quite a bit. And there are actually some videos out there too, out on the county's YouTube channel. And we also link those to some of the communications as well. There's some social media. So if you're on Facebook or Twitter, you might have seen some things out there about the program from Richland County. There's been some media coverage with possibly, you might have seen some of the segments on some of the local TV stations, and some of our folks have been doing radio interviews. There's been some paid advertising. There have been direct emails, calls, and visits to community leaders, landlords, and nonprofits. We've dropped flyers to let people know about the program and how to apply. And again, our partnerships with Richland County, the school districts, and community groups have been huge in helping us reach and assist people. So those are all the things that we have been doing so far. And there are some outreach resources that you can use. We have some graphics that we can share with you after the meeting. And we'll send you all an email with these resources attached. But we have some ERAP graphics, and I'll show you those in a minute, that you could possibly project during announcement periods in your, before, after, or during your worship services, or as you're having meetings with your congregation. We also invite you to share our social media posts, and you can do that by looking at Richland SC. We also suggest that maybe you include a link to the ERAP page in your newsletters, and we'll send you that link as well. We have an ERAP application flyer. This is the one that we're dropping at apartment complexes and sharing with different community groups. So I will make that PDF available to you. And if you would like us to possibly print a small number of copies, we'll be happy to drop them at your church too. And then, please feel free to use the information that we shared here to customize a message that works for your community. You know them better than we do. You know how to speak to them and how to reach them. So please use this information to help us do that. Here's an example of the graphics that we have. And we will share those with you. And that's the social media graphic on the left, and an example of one of the county social media posts on the right. And then, I'll give you another opportunity to put any questions into the chat or in the chat function. And now as we wait for those to come in, just to wrap up, I'll send out a follow-up email with any follow-up question and answers that come out of this session. There will also be a link to the meeting recording, to these presentation slides, the graphic files that I showed you a couple slides back, and the PDF of our application flyer. So that'll probably be way more than you can possibly use, but hey, at least you have them. And I want to thank you all for being here and helping us to provide some financial help and some spiritual hope to folks to get them through the rest of the pandemic here. So before we wrap up, were there any questions that came in on the chat or anything that people have? No questions or anything? Okay. Well, again, this has been recorded. If something comes up later, you will have my email address that you can respond to, and we'll answer the questions as we get them. But thank you this morning for your time, and I hope that this was helpful to you and can help the folks out in the community. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mike.